conversation today talking about change, it would be fairly blasé, right? Everybody's talking about change. That wouldn't be anything new. You only have to consider technology and what is happening in the world and how the world is different today from how it was 10 years ago to recognize that we are never going to stand still again if ever we did. I think about the internet and the speed at which information goes from one place to the other. It has deposed leaders. What happened in Egypt not long ago happened because of the movement of information. Would you agree? I sometimes think about a woman who is going to work one morning and she drives 5 miles down the road, and she might remember that she left her 10-year-old child at home. She ran out of the house forgetting that she needed to take her child to school. And I can imagine her thinking, got to go to work, got to get my child. Maybe I can call the neighbor and ask the neighbor to see if the neighbor can get the child to school. And then I think about another occasion on which she is 5 miles down the road and she has forgotten her cell phone. She will not go until she goes back and gets her cell phone. Mama, can you identify with a little of that temptation? This little article has transformed our lives. It has shaken us and made us different, hasn't it? Oh my goodness, in my hands I hold a phone, I hold a camera, I hold a calculator, I hold a television set, I hold a database, I hold a clock, I hold so many devices in this one little thing that has revolutionized our lives. We feel lonely if nobody calls us on it. And if I should ever wax boring today, somebody would be reading this under the seat. Change. There was a time when the phone was tethered to the wall, wasn't it? And when we talk about that, our children look at us as if we are ancient and that we must be. Just to remember that. And I will tell you something about change. When you consider the audience of which you are a part, would you agree with me that you are surrounded by leaders? This is a remarkable place in which to sit. I don't know if you realize who's sitting next to you. I have thought about this. I've looked at the people. I don't mean on the outside, you know, they may not appear to be that on the outside, but deep on the inside. Somebody looked at her neighbor and said, huh. I thought about the companies represented here, and I imagined the numbers, and I can well imagine that over 90% of the gross national product of Jamaica is somehow represented in this room. This is an amazing audience. You have to be a leader just to sit in here. And there's something about leaders, and that is that leaders do not respond well to change. They don't. A co-author, Spencer, wrote a book called Move My Cheese. Who Moved My Cheese? Yes, you've read it. I wrote a book called Persuasion Power. And in the last chapter of that book, I contend that a few years ago you needed to know who moved your cheese. Because things aren't the same as they were yesterday. You have to keep up. You have to respond to change. Otherwise, change will roll over you. True? But I'm here to tell you that as of 1995, when the historians say that the information age began, it has not been enough to respond to change. I contend in that book that you have to move your own cheese. Leaders do not respond well to change. They don't feel good unless they are initiating change, unless they are a change agent, unless they're shaking things up. They are transformation. While the rest of the world wonders, oh my God, to keep up. Things are different. No, you are the ones who make things different. And it's a glorious place to be, to stand on the threshold of the future. And so you shouldn't be the ones complaining that the world is shifting and it'll never, ever be the same again.